today is Mr. Gene Seroka, Executive Director of the Port of Los Angeles and the head of the nation's #1 container port. Mr. Gene?
Thank you and good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here and welcome you all today to today's Port of Los Angeles Trade Connect Regional Economic Forum on the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. With the leadership of ASEAN and our partners at the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce, the Port of Los Angeles is very proud to be a supporting sponsor of this historic trade seminar. Please join me in recognizing our distinguished speakers. His Excellency, Dr. Awang Adek, Ambassador of Malaysia to the United States. This is an additional honor because Malaysia is the chair of ASEAN for 2015. The Honorable Raja Saiful Ridwan Raja Kamarudin, Consul General of Malaysia in Los Angeles, who just spoke with us. Thank you for your opening remarks, Raja. Holly Vineyard, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Asia for the United States Department of Commerce International Trade Administration. Andrew Edelson, Global Asia Team Leader of Global Markets for the United States Department of Commerce. Eric Ide, Director of the Office of International Trade for Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti. And Mark Mealy, Vice President of Policy for the U.S. ASEAN Business Council. Thank you for coming here with us today to share your insights and expertise. I would also like to acknowledge the representatives from ASEAN member consulates and trade commissioners who will speak on trade and investment opportunities later this morning. Thank you all. Here at the Southern California International Gateway to the Pacific Rim, we offer a strategic advantage for both shipping and trade with ASEAN nations. It is expected that 50% of world growth will be in the Asia-Pacific region over the next 20 years, with more than 1 billion new middle-class consumers. This is important to the Port of Los Angeles because Southern California ports and Los Angeles World Airport are the premier links to Asia on the Western Pacific. Our unmatched service to Asia-Pacific market includes the fastest links to most Southeast Asian ports from North America, the most sailings across the Pacific with more than 80 services per week, more connections to origin and destination ports of call around the globe than any other port in the United States, more than a dozen container shipping lines and additional specialized break bulk service providers, special equipment, high-speed rail service with links to more than 14 major markets in the United States, the nation's largest industrial warehouse and distribution network with more than 1.8 billion square feet of warehousing and cold storage within 110 kilometers or 80 miles of our port complex. And these facilities are growing. The Port of Los Angeles is proud to be our nation's #1 container port and at the center of all this activity. We continue to invest in our infrastructure, and we are working to improve the Southern California supply chain to maintain and sharpen our competitive edge. With the vast majority of cargo flowing to and from Asia, it has been exciting to witness and participate in the growing volume and diversification of trade between the United States and Southeast Asian nations and markets. The numbers speak volumes. 6 of our top 16 trading partners in the Los Angeles Customs District are ASEAN nations. Last year alone, major bilateral trade through the LA Customs District was valued at more than $53 billion. Only 10 years ago, that number was $36 billion. So the growth continues to be quite rapid. As a result, the Port of Los Angeles welcomes the movement towards an integrated ASEAN market. It holds the prospects for more economic growth that will in turn lead to more trade with the west coast of the United States and more cargo moving through our Southern California gateway. There is ample reason to anticipate ongoing dramatic growth in trade with the ASEAN market. The Southeast Asian region has experienced robust economic growth for a number of years, and its landmark economic union in 2015 will strengthen that long-term trend. There is a market of more than 600 million consumers with a combined GDP of $3 billion US. We are already seeing a freer flow of goods and services, increased investment, and job growth for skilled labor. The integration of the region into the global economy is accelerating. Internal tariffs are already near zero levels. Greater protection of foreign investors and intellectual property rights is also encouraging and increasing trade. Above all, large investments are being made today in transportation infrastructure, and connections with ASEAN will increase the supply chain efficiencies and improve the flow of cargo across trade routes from here, including Southern California's gateway. With the flourishing cities of Southeast Asia accounting for more than 65% of the ASEAN GDP and continued growth of the consumer class, Southeast Asia is becoming pivotal for many industries that we deal with today and down the line. ASEAN nations represent a multitude of ethnicities and languages. At the same time, they are linked by strong business and trade relationships. Almost 50 years after founding ASEAN, we are now seeing remarkable emergence of the 7th largest economy in the world. ASEAN will be taking more major steps to advance economic and trade development, and we believe its leadership will set examples for those around the world to follow. We look forward to the success of the ASEAN economic community and continuing to be a major partner in its future growth. Thank you. We all hope today's event will be successful and we will enjoy the insights of our speakers and panels. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon for our Port of Los Angeles boat tour. Thank you.